What's going on, guys? RBP is brought to you by Manscaped, and this month they are teaming up with the Testicular Cancer Society. They're doing t-shirts, We Save Balls, and they're also doing a special Lawnmower 4.0 with the purple stripe to raise awareness. If you guys know anybody who has testicular cancer or you want to help raise awareness, go to manscaped.com, use code RBP to get 20% off and free shipping. I'll let you guys check out the site if you haven't been there. They have everything you need for men's hygiene. They also have some boxers and stuff like that. But the Lawnmower 4.0 is awesome. They have different scents like colognes and deodorants, things like that, nail kits, the nose trimmer, anything you could need to make sure you're fresh. Listen, springtime's coming around. It's going to get warmer. You want to keep yourself fresh. You want to keep yourself clean. Get to manscaped.com, use code RBP, and get 20% off, free shipping. Keep yourself straight for the warmer weather. What's going on, boys?
What's up?
What are you eating, Nick? Your typical banana chicken rice?
No, just chicken and rice and some mac oil.
I never got into the mac oil myself.
You know, no, I like it better than like olive oil or coconut oil.
Might have been the brand I tried, but I didn't like the taste.
I don't like avocado oil.
No, I don't like that either. I love avocado. Yeah.
Yeah, I like avocado, but I don't like avocado oil.
No, it's got a funky taste to it. And you can't cook with it either. It makes it gross.
Yeah.
Well, let's just address the most important topic today. For those of you who haven't heard yet, Cedric McMillan passed away this morning. From what I heard from Ben, it was a heart attack during cardio. Is that correct?
Yes. That's what I heard too.
That's what the rumors are. From a couple of people that close. That's what I've heard. I'm sure there's other details that might come out in the wash.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems to be.
Okay, so where do we start? One, it's very sad. Cedric was not a close friend of mine, but somebody I considered a friend. I worked a lot with him. We worked at Muscle Tech together. We were at SciTech together. He would text me from time to time, talked about, anxiety issues, talked about bodybuilding a lot. It just, yeah. So I don't want it to come off like we were best friends, but we were good friends and we were work friends, and I valued his friendship. And I always, oddly enough, looked up to Cedric. It's really fucking strange. The three people, I've had 4 people in my life that are close to me pass in the last 2 years, and all of them are people I looked up to. Like, you can have like a friend die and it's sad, but you can have, you also have those friends that you look to for advice or look to for inspiration and those kind of things. It's odd. Like Cedric was that kind of person. He just had a very, when he was around, he was definitely like a leader. He always commanded respect, always led the way, always knew how to act and showed how everybody else should act. So that was my relationship with Cedric, but I don't know if you guys knew him closely or just knew him from afar. Like, I don't know what your guys' relationship was with him.
I had a few interactions with him. A few backstage with him. Well, not me, but when Luke was competing against him, and we hung out a bunch, and then obviously the Arnold. What's interesting, you speak about anxiety, and I'm not sure, maybe he's spoken about it before, I'm sure he has, but watching him backstage, you'd have no idea. If you didn't know who he was as a bodybuilder, you'd have no idea, because he would take himself off, away from everybody else, hide away, literally find a corner. Like at the Olympia, he was like hidden round the back of everybody. Have his head down, and he'd be basically fighting a panic attack almost. Because he was so sheer terrified of walking out on stage. It was like, that was the 2019 Olympia that I'm talking about. So I'm like, this isn't his first rodeo, but the anxiety was just immense.
I think
for him. He really struggled with it.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think it wasn't the anxiety of walking out on stage in front of people, from what I gathered from Cedric. It was the anxiety of competition. Because like at guest posings and stuff, he was fine. Like I think it was the anxiety of expectation also, right? Because when you think about hearing the same thing over and over again for your entire career. Oh, if he could just get shredded glutes, if he could just Cedric's Mr. Olympia, but if he could just do this, if he could just do that. And it's like, it's hard on a fucking person, man.
Yeah.
So I think he dealt with a lot of those demons too. So I don't know, but sorry. Anyway, go on, Ben.
No, it's just that. I mean, that was, to me, that was very surprising when I saw that, because like from before knowing him, you know, as a fan, and you look up to him and you're like, well, you know, this guy's a 280-pound monster. Like if I were like that, I'd be, and you just, it was very, it was a big contrast to what I expected the first time I saw him backstage. And because I'd met him like not backstage the first time, and he was a very different demeanor. And then as soon as he's backstage, it was like he just could barely string a word. You know, he was so consumed by the anxiety, he said, of the competition or whatever else. But it was, I guess, humbling to see him like that. You know, it was very vulnerable and it warmed me to him even more than I already was. And I was a huge fan of him anyway. Yeah. But just seeing how much like how human he was, you know, someone like that big and that great, like an Arnold Classic champion is still that worked up, and that takes, you know, did me to him.
I mean, the craziest thing about that is it was only bodybuilding that did that to him. And he would tell me that because he was like I don't remember his exact rank, but he was like a team leader, and he would teach classes on being a leader. So this is like, it was only our industry and only the stage that kind of did that to him. He was the exact opposite in the military, which is crazy. It's like that the sport got to him so much, and the judgment got to him so much that it bothered him. Nick, any go ahead. Sorry, Ben. No, anything else?
I was just going to say, and then like to that point, when it was like, when I listened into him and Luke just having conversations, and him kind of mentoring Luke a little bit, you know, how like always the old,
that's how he is. Yeah.
Like just the wisdom and advice and experience that he was passing on to Luke was just extraordinary. And then you see him in his own self and his own bubble, he's like this, but
that's right.
He couldn't get it through to himself. And if he saw Luke worrying, he'd be like almost confused as to why you worried. Like,
that's right.
What was your?
That was actually one of the most lovable things about Cedric was he could see the greatness in everybody else.
Yeah,
like he would even treat me like that, and he was miles above me in competitive terms. And he would even treat me like that. And I'm like, he just had that. It's funny, you know, I said this to Paul earlier today. Him and John had a lot of the same qualities. They just could get the best they could see the best in everybody they were talking to. And I think, Ben, you would agree with this. I think Luke kind of had some of the same qualities. He could make you feel like you were way more important than you actually were.
Yeah. Like, it was almost like sometimes he'd say stuff and I'm like, we'd be posing together and he'd say something and I'm like, we're looking in the same mirror here. Like, this isn't even fucking close. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying, right? It's like these people have this, and it's really sad because they all have that similar quality. But Nick, is there anything did you ever get to meet Cedric, talk to Cedric, anything?
No, I never actually had the pleasure of meeting him, but he was someone that I did look up to just because of the way he carried himself.
Yeah.
And the way, like you said, he was just a leader.
Yeah.
And he had a way of making everyone just feel good. And that was always something I looked up to him.
I mean, it was weird. It wasn't, you know, some people try to be leaders, and it was Cedric. It kind of just oozed out of him. Like you just wanted to follow whatever. And, you know, he was the first one. I know everybody started doing this after, and he was always, it was funny. If somebody would post something, I'm like, why don't you do that? He'd be like, I don't want to copy anybody. and he would make like these original posts. His posts were always different than everybody else's. And he was the first one to start doing that. When he won a show, he would get everybody together and do the selfie. To my recollection, he was the first one to do that. And then all of a sudden, everybody else started doing it.
Yeah.
And I remember him laughing one day. He's like, look, everybody's copying my shit. But that was the kind of person he was, is like, sorry, guy, how are you? We're just talking about like our own, our own interactions with Cedric and what was great about him. Do you have any interactions with Cedric? I'm sure you talked to Cedric.
Oh, yeah. God. Back when he won the New York Pro the first time, like my first like personal, I mean, I met him and shook hands and he, we talked, but the first like real interaction we had was when he won the New York Pro. I forget what year it was. Whatever year it was, he won it. And that's when he put out like that big apology. Like he felt bad for winning because like some people said he looked great. Some people said he didn't look good. So he didn't feel that if he didn't meet everybody's expectations that he shouldn't have won the trophy. Yeah. So I texted him and I gave him one of like the standard, like Guy Cisternino, like you got nothing to apologize for. Don't you ever do that shit again. Like I don't think he ever really saw how great he really was. And that was the great thing about him is that he looked like there would be people he'd be wowed by. And I'm like, you're wowed by that? Like, do you know how you look?
We were just saying that. Yeah.
Like, I don't understand. Like, he would always give me compliments, and I'm like, yeah, coming from Mr. Perfection, get out of here.
I know, right?
Like,
I know. But what you just said, it was actually one of the biggest. Man, I talked to him about it on a few different occasions about trying to get him to see through it. We even had a long discussion about it actually on the podcast the first time he came on. He wanted everybody's acceptance.
Yes.
Like, we would always talk about, how we all talk about how, if 100 people comment, sometimes you'll zone in on like the 3 or 4 assholes.
Yes.
Instead of realizing that there's 95 nice people, you're like, oh, there's 5 assholes, and you forget the 95 nice people.
Yes.
Man, Cedric was the king of that. He just wanted all 100 to love him, or else he was really, and he wasn't mad at the person who didn't like him. He was like, what did I do to make him?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He felt like he failed.
Yeah,
I've done something wrong. Yeah. It wasn't like I'm not good enough or I need to be better. It was like I fucking failed. It's
funny. It was really funny. One day he posted a picture of see if I can find it. He posted a picture of just a field. It was like just a green grass field, and he was like, "Let's see if anybody can talk shit about this." Because he was so sick and tired of trying to be perfect that he was like, he must have deleted it. I'm trying to find it, but he was so sick and tired of trying to be perfect that he was like, let's see if anybody could talk shit about this.
And he was like a ball buster and like joked and like cracked jokes and like he was like hard like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, he honestly was one of the sweetest men I've ever fucking known. There was a time, I think I was getting ready for a show, and we were in no, it wasn't FIBO. I think we were in Spain or something like that. I can't remember. And I was just dead. And I hadn't done my cardio that morning because we had to be at the booth. So I had to go at night. It was like 9 or 10 o'clock. And he could tell I didn't want to go. He's like, come on, man. He's like, and he didn't have to go. He wasn't get ready for anything. He's like, come on, I'll go get my shoes. I'll go do cardio with you. And we had to walk to the gym. It was like a 15-minute walk. And it was just the coolest fucking thing ever. I'm like, this guy fucking cares about me for no reason. Like, he doesn't have to go to fucking do cardio. He doesn't have to go walk with me in the middle of the night in some strange country to go to some shitty gym and just make up a workout while I'm doing fucking cardio. He didn't have to do that. And it's just like, he just had that kind of, I don't know, man.
He didn't believe in bad people is like what I think. Like he couldn't believe that, like, if somebody didn't like him, he's like, no, I want to prove to that one person that I'm not what he thinks. He really did. He thought, like, he saw the good in people, even the hate comments and the hatred that people would give off. I remember when he posted that turtles video when he was shooting the turtles.
Oh,
he got like,
he got roasted. But he's from a different place, man. He's
like, oh, got that one.
He had that like that story you just told as well. He had that almost like big brother. He was like the big brother,
Yeah.
Oh
my God.
He was like, come on, I'll
more than you could imagine. Yeah.
That's how I've always felt
So,
when we spoke.
can we just talk about the talents of Cedric McMillan? This guy is probably one of the most talented people.
Wow,
Him and Evan are cut from the same cloth.
Yeah.
Like this guy, I just want to show you guys this. So when he was stationed in, and you guys know this story, but people who watch
when he built his gym,
so
that was the first thing I ever read about him.
Cedric was stationed in this is either Iraq or Afghanistan, and he didn't have any workout equipment. And he told me he went to his superiors and he's like, "Hey, can you guys get me some wood?" And they're like, "Why?" He's like, "Well, I want to build my own workout equipment." And they're like, "Okay, cool." So they went and they brought wood to him, and he fucking made all these machines. This is like a squat rack, and here's a T-bar row. It's like all this different shit that he made. Look at this is all stuff he made, so he could train. Like this is, you want to talk about fucking hardcore
bodybuilding? That's bodybuilding.
This is hardcore. You're in the middle of a fucking desert, in the middle of a fucking war.
And you're like, I want to be jacked as fuck.
You're like, I'm gonna build. Look at this T-bar row. It's like, what the fuck is that?
It's probably better than some of the ones they make.
I know, right? Look at this. Like, I don't even know what was an arm blaster. What is this? Like,
it looks like a dip. Like it goes on.
He's got a picture of quads here, and it's a squat rack.
He's got a picture of my legs.
Those aren't your legs. Those are my legs, I think. Oh, those are definitely my legs. There's a
shoulder press. Yeah, see his shoulder press.
Like the talent.
He even made the handles round.
Yeah. Is this a Smith machine?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's crazy, man. It's calf.
It's not even a Smith machine.
Seated calf raise.
If you looked, which is very smart, go back to that. All he did was put the bar in between two glides, so it can't go. So it's actually like a Smith machine that is a true Smith machine. It weighs 45 pounds.
That's like the one I have in my gym.
Put like a light bar in there.
Yeah. And then seated calf raise. Look at this fucking bar. What is this? Like, what the fuck?
A barbed wire bar.
Look at how small he is there, fucking eating a steak. It's insane. And then you go up here and he's gardening.
Yo, don't fucking hate on that.
Like it's just no, but this is real gardening. He ain't planting fucking tomatoes like you.
What do you think these plants? Different things? You just plant more of it.
Man, he's got a backhoe out there and shit. This is a real garden. This is not
okay. It's not a backhoe. It's called a hoe. You don't even know what you're talking about. A backhoe is a fucking truck.
You're right.
A backhoe is the big truck.
I don't know anything about gardening. You're fucking right.
He's got the backhoe. Meanwhile, he's out there with a hoe.
He's got the backhoe.
He's out there with a hoe. You don't have any hoes.
Fucking hoes.
So no, but seriously, man, like that's I posted a thing earlier today. I remember we were at the booth and the SciTech used to make us wear these tank tops and they were like,
I read that. That was awesome. Yeah.
They were too tight in like certain areas and shit. So Cedric one expo just showed up with like all these tank tops. He's like, I made this for you. And he sewed them from scratch. And I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's making clothes. Like, what can't you do?
Did you get rid of those?
Oh yeah. I don't think I have them anymore. And he made different colors and he made them for everybody. It wasn't like, I don't like mine, I'm going to make one for me. He made one for everybody. And it was like,
he would have made one for every fan if he could.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, I don't know. You got Cedric, the military.
The haircut. Wasn't he good at like cutting hair too?
Yeah. He's always cutting people's hair. Look at right here. Cutting people's hair.
I can picture him being like, I don't know how to do this, but I'll try.
Look at it. This is Cedric. He's not like they're doing janitor's work, and he's like he's been in the military forever. I don't know if he has to do this, but I don't think so. It's just who he is. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's so much good stuff. I don't want to bore people.
But this is boring. If they're bored about this,
that's the turtle video.
Which one? He left it? Where is it?
No, it's right there. Yeah, it's right there. No, you just went by it with the gun.
I remember this.
Turtle video. Snapping turtles hunting time.
I remember.
Watch his reaction to shooting one. Can you get volume or no?
One sec.
Oh, got that one.
He was getting roasted in the comments.
Oh, killed.
All right. Cover your ear. Oh.
You got it.
Yeah, because you see them pieces? Yeah, I got him. Oh, yeah, for sure.
Careful, babe. Can you grab your phone?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different lifestyle out there. And then here he's on his motor. I didn't even know he rode a motorcycle until I saw this.
You could probably fly a plane.
What did you say,
No
Ben?
chance.
I'm pretty sure he had a Hayabusa, right?
Yeah, it's this
The
one here.
bike.
Yeah. No, this isn't. It was a Ninja, I guess. This is his bike here, no? I thought I saw
okay.
a Hayabusa too, though.
I thought he had a Hayabusa.
Yeah, I thought I saw a Hayabusa
He
too.
could have had like one bike, two bikes, got rid of one, sold one, bought one.
Yeah, because I thought I saw one too.
Shit like that gives me goosebumps. Like the pictures with like him, Dallas, or him and Luke.
Hey, look at that. Hey, you see that one in the you come off it.
Sorry.
What was him with Luke and Dallas?
No, the one I was going to say, the what is that one? But the one
That's
of
a
him with Arnold.
That's a Hayabusa there, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he had one.
Look at the one with Arnold taking a selfie of him.
Oh
on
yeah,
stage.
this is amazing. Yeah.
So you know, okay, have I told you this story before with the bandana?
No, you haven't.
That was right. So he came off backstage from the pre-judging.
Yeah.
And he pointed at me because I was wearing a bandana.
Oh, okay.
And he wanted to wear it for his routine.
That's fucking awesome.
That's that.
And only Cedric could pull this off too.
Oh, he probably anyone else would have been told, "Hey, get the fuck off."
Can't do that.
This was finals. This wasn't a guest posing.
Yeah,
you're like
you're not allowed technically to have
Kai will wear like a mask at guest posing, and Hunter wears his hats, and you can't do that. But Cedric can do whatever the fuck he wants.
You spelled
I know it'll still come.
It's
Maybe
it's just type in it's finals of the Arnold. Hey, it's the Arnold 2019 final.
Wonder.
Right there.
2019.
Oh,
Okay,
there.
yeah, blindfold, yeah.
Make every coin toss feel like a Hail Mary. Make every
Because
Fuck,
That's
that's
awesome.
crazy, man. Sorry, I got to turn that off somehow. Amazing. Listen, aside from conditioning, he's probably one of the best physiques ever to grace the stage.
Insane.
That was probably the only thing that ever held him back. But honestly, if you're just looking purely at symmetry, proportions, structure, it's fucking hard to beat Cedric's physique.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's just
Yeah,
really
let's go back to him.
What are you
If you
saying
would
is
go
better?
back to the still of him when he walked out and just stood there like this.
Yeah.
It's one of the most impressive silhouettes I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean, like, look at
It's
that. It's just like a really,
Yeah.
it's some
The
of
20, I saw a picture earlier of the 2017 Arnold, the one he won, right?
yeah, that was the one he won. Yeah.
It's just beautiful. Like
Like,
that
look
most
at it.
muscular, where he
Look at
just
this.
stands there.
Who else can do this? Who else can do this?
Hanging.
I mean, this is like Terrence is doing this shit. Who
Yeah.
else?
You know-
Who else at 280 pounds can do this?
I tell you, do you know what it looks like? Do you remember the cartoon, the Tarzan cartoon?
Not really. Why? Go on.
Because it's like a jacked and even like the Tarzan cartoon was pretty jacked, but it has that kind of like, I don't know, I know what I mean, that aesthetic to it, where it's like that
Yeah.
stupid tiny waist and
Yeah.
just it's got a different look to a normal bodybuilder, you know, it's a different
Yeah.
look.
Well, because honestly, what I'm seeing is like a classic guy that weighs 280 pounds.
But that's what I mean. The Tarzan look,
Yeah.
the Tarzan cartoon is that look, whereas you have like the conventional bodybuilder is a lot thicker all the way through.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. You don't see this on 280-pound guys.
No.
Nope.
Insane. Yeah, we probably go on forever about how amazing he was, but and I don't know if it's probably too soon to do this, but one of the other reasons I wanted to get you guys together was just to toss around some ideas, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting fucking really tired because I'm actually like numb to this shit by now. I mean, we're talking as far as people I was close to, we're talking Luke, then John, now Cedric, and then I have my own other shit going on in between that. And it's getting fucking old, and we need to kind of start to figure out what it is, or else the sport's going to go to shit. Because look, this is the thing. We can bury our heads and ignore it, right? And just go on and see like, oh, the sport will be fine. Everybody will forget and move on. Sure. But I don't believe that that's true, because I think what's going to happen is there's an entire generation of kids who are 18, 19, 20 coming up that are like, well, maybe I'll do classic instead, or maybe I won't do this shit at all.
It's scaring everybody
Because of all the things that are happening, right?
A little bit.
So I think if we just leave it to its own devices, kind of like, market economy, like just leave it to go, like a libertarian type of philosophy where you're like, you know what, just let it go and see what happens.
Bodybuilding will die off, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If we let it go and see what happens, and this keeps happening, like if it's not just a fluke and this keeps happening every year, eventually people are just going to stop doing this shit.
So from the people that I've talked to, and I talked to a lot of doctors and, in the medical field, a lot of it, whether people want to hear this shit or not, I'm hearing the fact that COVID obviously made a lot of fucking issues with a lot of people, but every doctor that I've talked to has said, if you're a bodybuilder or an intense physical, like in fitness, or like a professional athlete, or like play a lot of sports, like the vaccine is the thing. Is like they're seeing a lot of harsh things with athletes, like football players, bodybuilders, like down the line with the vaccine causing a lot of heart issues.
Well, we don't, okay, well,
because and it's
I don't want to go down. I don't want to go down that road.
I'm not buying that, man.
Well, hold on. You got to understand this though. This is a fact, so you can buy this for free. COVID and the vaccine cause a coronavirus causes clots. It's a clotting virus. So if you get the virus or you get the vaccine, what happens is now your body is in a state where clots. I had a blood clot. I got it in my calf.
Time out. Can we just ignore the conspiracy stuff for a minute? Just because I want to get into some like real hard stuff that like we can actually definitely know for sure. We don't know if Cedric.
Well, I mean, this started 2 years ago. So I mean, if this,
I know, but you can't. Causation isn't. Correlation is not causation, right? So you can't just be like, well, because this happened during COVID, then all of them died because of COVID. It's like you can't make that a concrete fact.
No, my point was that if like even me just getting COVID, I didn't get the vaccine, I feel I'm at a risk too, because when you take PEDs that also thicken the blood.
I'm not disputing that. I'm not saying what you're saying isn't true. And I'm also not saying that you're not right, that a lot of athletes have passed since COVID started. I'm not saying that, but let's just dispel that for 1 minute, just so we can get into some other, what I think are facts.
See, I wouldn't even know where to start then.
Okay. So me and Ben discussed this a little bit previously, but I have a whole bunch of ideas. So let's take it as a complete puzzle, right? It's not one, people like to point to one thing. Oh, it must be the drugs. Must be right. I don't think it's one thing. It's a puzzle. There's a whole bunch of the sum of all parts, right? So if we look at guys from the 70s, 80s, 90s, what is the glaring difference in the 2000s?
Drugs.
Size.
Oh, it'd be due to.
I don't think guys. But 1 second. I don't think. No, not indirectly. I'm talking about directly. So what I'm trying to say is this: guys in the 90s, I'm not going to sit here and be like they didn't abuse drugs, right? So like, I don't think drug use, PED use is any different. Is any different now than it was then? Maybe a little worse, but I don't know if like. To me, that's not the culprit. To me, it's the size that's the culprit. The main, not well, like I said, there's a number of things, but
yeah,
the main difference I see between before 2000, after 2000, is the size guys get to in the off season, the size guys get to on stage, the lengthening of the career. Like, think about this. So Lee Haney retired when he was 32 years old. Why did he retire at 32 years old? Because you could win Olympias at 240 pounds in the 80s, right?
Rich Gaspari ended early. It's very early too.
Right. So think of this. When you're
on Ray,
think of post 2000. Post 2000, before you're even in the conversation, you got to be 250 pounds, right? Like I'm talking about certain, let's say you're 5'9", right? So like you have to be bigger just to be mentioned in the top 20 in the world, right? So you have to have more muscle, you have to have harder off seasons, and you're doing it a lot longer, because to get to that weight, think about the barrier to entry, right? Like if you only had to be 220 on stage or 230 on stage, you could probably start competing as a pro at 25, right? Like Lee Haney won his first Olympia at 24 years old. Why is that? It's because he could get in at a certain size, right? Now to get to the Olympia, you have to be like 250, 260 to get on the Olympia stage and do well. So that means you're turning pro and getting into your career at 30 years old. That's already 10 years have gone by.
Yes.
Now you want to have a career. So now there's 10 more years because you want to make some money. Well, now you're 40. Now you're 40 years old and you've been doing this for 20 years. And then you're like, okay, I don't know what to do next, so I'm going to keep going. Now you're 42, 43, 44, and I don't think the body's meant to go at the rate we're going for 25 years.
This is not
my opinion on it is we're now just seeing the fallout of chronic bodybuilding, you know?
Yeah.
Of like the length of exposure to the PEDs, the size, the blood pressure, the weight, just all those things
combined.
Anything the human body is incredibly adaptive, and it can mask a lot of things in the short term. But when you start exposing it over decades, that's when the body starts to break down. So I think we're seeing the generation, like you said, from when the 2000s changed. We're now seeing that fallout starting to happen, and I'm a little apprehensive that it's going to start snowballing.
I mean, look, you have exceptions like Nick, who made a massive impact at 27 years old. But for the most part, for the general rule, most pros now don't hit their stride until between 30 and 35 years old.
Yeah.
So if you just start hitting your stride at 30 years old, you're going to want to capitalize on that for a few years.
Well, Justin just turned pro at 34.
This is what I'm saying, right? But in Justin's case, it's a little
different. I know,
because he started he started
but if you're talking about a kid that was like, sorry,
no, go ahead.
If you're talking about a kid that took 12 years to turn pro,
yeah,
then they turn pro and they're not even big enough really.
Do you think there should be Do you think there should be a cutoff as to when you can actually turn pro?
So let's get into solutions in a minute, because I have a few I want to discuss. But Is there any other? Okay, so we talked about the COVID thing, which is definitely a possibility, and that's why I said maybe it's a fluke the last couple of years. Hopefully, it won't be moving forward.
Yeah.
Let's assume the COVID thing is not.
But hang on to that point.
Yeah.
So if you remove the vaccine, right?
Yeah.
COVID itself. If we're talking about COVID itself, well, we're on a level playing field because if eventually everybody has to get some form of exposure, either the virus or the vaccine or both, right?
Sure.
Then we're all playing with the same set of issues.
Yeah.
Right.
But what Guy is saying,
we all have that.
Yeah, but what Guy is saying is because
Mixed
of
with
PEDs, right? If you already have.
Yeah, no. I know, but I'm saying if we're probably at a point now where everyone's accepting that at some point everybody's going to get exposed to COVID, right?
Yes.
In some way, and it'll be a mild or severe. Well, we're all going to have that clotting complication, whether it's from the vaccine or a mild case of COVID, right?
Sure,
so
I agree.
Are we on a level playing field then? Because it doesn't matter if everyone.
Well, it depends. Like put it like this: my mom has naturally high hemoglobin. I have naturally high hemoglobin, and therefore I had COVID. I had a clot. So we can all be on a level playing field, but genetics play a fucking huge role.
Okay.
I have a horrible calcium score in my heart. There's motherfuckers that have zeros that I'm like, how the fuck does that dude got a zero?
Your point. It looks like you're pointing at Nick.
I got 0, bitch.
I'm pointing at my TV.
I got
and mine's nowhere. Yeah, but you're also young. Wait until you're in your 30s and 40s.
Okay, wait. Let's
that's what my point is. The COVID thing we can't adjust or change. We're either going to get it or not. So that's kind of out of the way.
Did we all have COVID here at one point?
I had it twice.
So, yeah.
I had it.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to remove that because most people are going to have it.
Even if it's a thing, let's just remove it for the sake of this conversation.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
So we talked about size, and size can affect obviously blood pressure. There's one thing that people don't talk about, and that's the exposure to high intensity training, and not Dorian Yates high intensity training. I just mean like high volume or training to failure type of training, because there's a lot of muscle waste that's involved in that. Like even me, like because of my kidneys, my nephrologist has sat me down and said, look, I know how you train. You got to scale it back a bit because all that muscle waste has to be filtered by your kidneys. So our lifestyle in general is not like the way we train. That's just for fun is actually hurting us in a long term.
You're not even supposed to do hard cardio in those instances either because it's stressful.
That's right.
And I don't believe I don't think a 300-pound bodybuilder or 280-pound bodybuilder even should be doing any form of like intense cardio.
Yeah.
No, even like now that when I do cardio, I just ride my bike on a very low resistance.
It should be like smooth. Yeah, that the heart is under a lot of burden,
it's enough to like get what I need out of it, break a little sweat, and then I'm good to go.
So we talk about muscle waste from training. We talk about blood pressure. We talk about enlarged heart. Talk about stress on the kidneys, stress on the liver, cholesterol. I mean, most guys have these issues because taking PEDs lowers your good cholesterol majority of the time. I don't know if that's a fact for everybody, but that's what doctors have explained to me. Ben, I don't know if that's pretty accurate statement.
It's a broad statement.
I know it's a broad statement, but is it?
Yeah.
Is it wrong?
Everyone's different, but I think it could go
essentially
more so
I would.
When you inject the body uses cholesterol to make testosterone, right? Okay. So part of the reason it fucks your cholesterol up is because you're injecting exogenous testosterone. The body doesn't need it stops forming its own. So now you have this backlog of cholesterol buildup. That's like a layman's simplification.
What I'm asking is this, and I think I said the wrong thing because I think it's just anti-estrogens, but don't anti-estrogens lower your HDL?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That was to my experience, right? Okay, so that's kind of what I meant. So we have all these different things going on in our organs, plus all the weight we're carrying around. Like it's all just.
I think probably one of the biggest main issues is just weight.
Well, and this is kind of that's my interpretation of it also. And I think weight in relation to age, because it's just a duration of time you have to do.
Well, even though I'm 27 years old, the reality is there's no reason why I'm almost 300 pounds.
Well, and it's like this, you're lucky. I don't know.
And I'm 5'7".
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
it's.
I mean, you're lucky also in a sense, Nick, that, and I don't know if other people would see it this way, but I feel like you're lucky because you did it in like 6 or 7 years. Whereas some guys, if they want to get to 300 pounds, like look at Iain just hit 300 pounds. Ian's 32 years old. So that means Ian's been hammering away at this shit for, and I hate to use Iain, so I apologize, Iain, if you're watching, but I just, trying to relate it. So, and I could use myself, like it took me till I was 32, 33 to hit 300 pounds. That's 12 years of BDs, eating. And then also we haven't discussed even the eating, to be 300 pounds, you're eating 5,000-6,000 calories every day. So if we're talking about autophagy and cell regeneration by calorie deficits or fasting, we're not getting any of that because we're constantly just bombarding
food,
right? So it's like there's just so many different culprits, and I'm like,
so what do you think can be done? Talked about what we think can be done. Like, what can you really like? A cap on weight.
Let Ben jump in real quick.
I was just going to say, to go back to the weight thing, I think weight is an issue, but I don't even think when you really look at it, whether like you go, oh, well, someone's 300 pounds of fat or 300 pounds of muscle, weight is weight.
Yes.
Regardless.
But that's
weight on your heart is weight on your heart.
But wait a second, I think it's different.
No, what I mean is some people will be justifying, oh yeah, but I'm 290 and in shape. And I'm like, you're still under a staggering amount of shape. Yeah. Because it's demanding oxygen and blood and
if you're 300 pounds of fat, look, that's unhealthy. But if you're 300 pounds of muscle, your heart's fucking working way harder.
Yeah.
Pump oxygen and blood to all that muscle, man.
Shit. I've seen guys 300 pounds of fat walking like up a hill. I think, where was I? I was like hiking somewhere. And I'm like, this fat fucker, I can't keep up because I'm like, I'm gassed.
That's right.
So I'm like,
this
and this fat fucker's just strolling along with a fucking.
I wouldn't even attempt that shit.
But it's right. You're right. It's demanding oxygen. The heart's working harder. It's
true.
So going back to what Guy said, what are the solutions? So I had a couple things in mind that people are not gonna like what I have to say, but I want everybody to remember this. I love bodybuilding. I don't want it to go away, but
we love our friends more.
Yeah. And
life's too precious, man.
I have to be honest with you. There's a healthy way to bodybuild, but I don't think there's a healthy way to bodybuild at 300 pounds. It's like you can mitigate circumstances, but like being 300 pounds for an extended period of time is just. I'm not a doctor, but I'm like, look, that just doesn't sound.
I got up to 300 and started to feel like shit. And, I dropped back down to 290. I mean, 290 is still a lot.
Like, look, and this
10 pounds can make a little world of a difference.
I got to tell you guys, this also comes from a lot of people's opinions come from personal perception. So I was 300 pounds for a long time, and I know how it's affected me. So this is from my own perception. So if anybody disagrees, that's fine. I'm just speaking from my own experiences and my own what I know from what I've dealt with and people around me. So if we're going to solutions, I think there's a couple different ones. One of the easiest ones, and I think it could be implemented without too much disruption, but I don't know if people would go along with it. And I'll describe it like this. I was talking to Paul about it earlier. So let's say you have a pyramid, right? And the base of the pyramid is muscularity. Then you have symmetry and proportions, and then you have condition at the top, right? So the smallest part of the pyramid is the conditioning. Generally, that's how bodybuilding shows are judged. The guy, if all things are equal, usually the biggest guy is going to win. So muscularity is the biggest part of the triangle, is the base of it. In my opinion, if they switched that around and they made muscularity worth less points for the judges, and
more so
symmetry, proportions, and conditioning were worth more points.
Well, now I lose.
Well, you would have to change the way you train and shit. But I'm just saying,
you bring some nasty condition though. So
yeah, you bring good condition too. So, but I'm just saying, because then if you look at the Olympia, for example, then Rami wouldn't be rewarded. Hadi might win, right? So it's like,
I'll keep my mouth shut.
Say what you're going to say. Say what you're going to say.
I think Hadi should have been a little higher than what he was.
Okay, regardless. I think anybody might agree.
There's a lot of people that would agree with you.
Yeah, but but do you see what I'm saying? So then, like, look at the examples throughout history. Like when Kevin Levrone was up against Dorian Yates the first time, or when Flex Wheeler was against Dorian Yates, had they picked Kevin or Flex, muscularity wouldn't have been as important. Guys would have stayed a little smaller, worried about conditioning and symmetry.
And nobody would have argued it either.
That's right. And then if you go to like Ronnie Coleman, Flex Wheeler, if they had picked Flex Wheeler over Ronnie Coleman, well, maybe we wouldn't have gotten to the 2000 era where everybody was chasing Ronnie, right? Or you could
they kind of did it with Roden, right? A little.
That's what
that didn't last
They
long.
kind of went that way, and then obviously he missed a year, and then Brandon came back with size, and it started going back the other way again. You know?
Yeah, I feel like it's a really simple solution. There's other solutions that we can discuss, but I feel like it's a really simple solution to just take the scorecard the way it is and make muscularity worth 20% instead of 60%. That way, you don't have to. That way, when you're prepping and you're getting ready, you don't have to be like, well, I have to be the biggest guy. Yeah. You don't have to be the biggest guy. You have to be the best guy.
Even for me, I've always been focused more on conditioning because even for me, I know if I lose a little bit of size, it would make a huge difference.
Well, I don't think, and knowing you like I do, or as kind of like I do, I don't think, as big as you are, I don't think you've pushed size like a lot of guys have. I think genetically you just got big. You're doing what you do.
I did.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there are some guys out there.
Even my brother. Like, if my brother, like he's natural. He's never taken anything. But even in high school, he was 200 pounds, pretty solid.
Yeah.
My dad used to be a competitor naturally. He was pretty big. Like,
we
could just get big.
Yeah.
I know guys that have pushed like the other side of things way harder than you have and just didn't get that size. I don't think you've been like overly aggressive considering you're as big as you are.
But think about people coming up, right? If you knew, I love the thought of it, right? Because if you knew coming up, hey, a guy who's 220 can win the Olympia. Like, think about all the guys that are in between, right? Like, think about like Ronnie Rockel, right? Ronnie Raquel, beautiful physique, symmetry.
I always loved his physique.
Yeah, his conditioning maybe have been a little sharper, but if he actually thought, and people actually saw him win because of his symmetry and conditioning, maybe less people would be like, hey, I got to get to 290. I got to get to 300. I mean, I would have stayed at 238, 240 had I thought that package could win. So,
well, if you consider one of the greatest of all time is Phil, right? Phil wasn't the mass monster.
No, I think Kai was bigger than Phil, like muscularity wise. I think he was thicker.
Phil was what, like 240 on stage?
I think he was closer to 50. No, or am I wrong?
I thought he was around mid 40s.
Probably at his
either way, that's not Ronnie Coleman, Jay Cutler size,
I mean, it's still big because you got to think if somebody's 240 or 250 on stage, they're still getting to 280, 290 in off season. So this leads me to my second solution that I'm sure is going to get fucking shit on by everybody.
But wait,
look, if you just if you just got rid of classic, right? And just said, look, there's only bodybuilding. And they took all the classic numbers, weights and heights, and increased them like 10 pounds. They said, that's it. That's the fucking show. That's bodybuilding.
Okay.
Hit me. Tell me what you're going to say.
What the fuck would my weight cap be?
Well,
buddy?
this is my solution for you, buddy. So
I might as well throw in the top.
let's
say my solution for you, Nick. Retire.
Yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, I might as well just throw in the fucking top.
No, I got a solution. I really do.
I'll go to not eat for a few months.
No, listen, I have a real solution. So let's say, no, take DNP and burn off some muscle. No, I'm serious.
That's the solution.
Let's say, you're 5'7"?
Yeah.
So let's say 5'7", and I'm just throwing out a number. Nobody fuck with me in the comments. If you're 5'7" and the weight cap is 215, say, right? In classic. Let's say we bump that 10 pounds and now it's 225. That should be where it is. But because of everybody that's bodybuilding now, we don't do that now. We say the cap is 235 or 240. That way it's close to, like, you can still get back there, right? And then you just have to, and then they lower it every couple years so that it's at a healthy number. Your face looks like you're in really bad.
Face looks like it does 80% of the podcast.
Can we do it like 250 and then go
1
down?
second, Nick. You were 245 last year at the Olympia.
Do you see how I fucking look right now?
I know, but let's just assume they said, Nick, we're doing this thing. It's going to be 240 this year at your height.
245?
You were 245 last year. This isn't doing anything. We got to make people healthier. You got to shrink a little. So we put you at 245, and then every year or every 2 years, they go 235, 230. Okay, 230 is the limit.
So basically now in my off seasons, I can't get big, right?
That's the point, though.
But then,
I
Nick,
get it.
But you just said exactly what I
Now
think
you're a
the problem is.
bodybuilder 24/7.
Then Nick, then you can just route through shows and just make bank.
That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm
You just
good.
compete over and
Just
over.
compete year round, stay on all the hard drugs.
But
year
wait a
round.
second. Listen, let's be serious. Let's be serious, though. Let's be serious.
Yeah.
Ben, did you see what he just did? He said exactly what I thought the solution would be.
No, I knew where you were going with that.
He said
I
I
don't
would
have an issue with that.
he said I would just sit around half the year. Perfect. Now
Oh,
your body is rest. No, I don't mean sit around, but now your
I'm still
body
gonna work out.
Yeah, but you're not going to work out as hard because you can't get any bigger. So you're
Or
going
with
to
as many drugs.
or with as many drugs. So you're taking less PEDs, you're not training as hard, you're not eating as much because you can't get big. And now you're just honing your physique and making the detail and structure better. I mean, think about it.
I honestly think that's how majority of off season should be anyway.
Yeah, but that's how they would be if everybody had
Because,
a cap.
You
Where
know,
they
I know
couldn't
it's
grow anymore.
an off season. This is the time to quote unquote grow.
Yeah,
But it's called an off season for a reason. You know,
Yeah.
I'm not saying
and you know
don't
what?
not train, but train. You know, stay in shape, but you don't need to go balls to the wall. That's what prep's for.
And you know what? Ben's right, and I didn't even think about that when I was talking to him earlier about this.
And I feel like a hypocrite saying that because I train balls to the wall. But
No, but we're talking about like health strictly, but I didn't even think about what Ben said, which is, yeah, guys would be able to compete a lot more, earn a lot more competition money. The fans would get to see everybody more. There's a lot of like positives about it. I don't really see any negatives. Like still seeing you at 240 is still fucking really impressive.
oh yeah, no, I'm not complaining.
What do you think if Jim Mannion called you tomorrow and said, Nick, this Olympia 240 is the limit? That's it.
Get a couple of those.
I go like this. I go like this.
One second.
Guys been playing this
Excuse
health
me.
game
One
his whole
second. I
career.
want to hear this.
Ben, I'm on the phone, bro. I'd be like, Don, we gotta cut the food now. We gotta cut food now. Prep starts now, buddy. We gotta make sure we're 240 or
Gonna
lower.
drop some muscle, yeah.
Give me a new diet structure. All right, bye.
Yeah.
Guy spent his whole career doing this.
Yeah, he did. Remember Aceto's like, you got to eat this. He's like, I don't want to eat that. Forget it.
Yeah, I just lose a meal off the top.
Yeah, I'm taking a meal.
But Guy always trained hard year round, though.
But I still don't think.
I think a lot of it.
I think training hard is the least of the detriment.
I do too,
Right?
because I think it's the PED use.
And the food.
Because Guy,
And the food.
I'm sure Guy never really did much in his off season.
No.
But my understanding of like the Dorian Yates era was off season food is crazy. I know Dorian was like stupid big in the off season, but it was like food
It was
very,
like
very
300.
it was like food stupid high in the off season, drugs minimal, almost non-existent. And then when prep starts, as there's a switch.
But wait a minute. You know what else is a good example?
But
Sorry,
right,
Ben.
hang on. Right now, the off seasons are bang up here on both sides.
It's food, drugs.
Yeah.
But you know what is a good example too when we're talking about strongman.
And I honestly think that's why a lot of people end up down the road ruin their physiques.
But one sec, Nick, me and Ben were talking like at the Arnold, we saw these strongmen walking by. We're like, how come these 400 fucking pound dudes are walking around? None of them are keeling over.
Because they don't do drastic amount of drugs.
Oh,
They eat a shit ton of food.
Yeah, no,
But they do, but for shorter periods of time.
But that's what I'm saying. They're not doing it the way our body.
The way we do it.
And here's my kicker on this. This is what I was talking about the other week. They're not dehydrating at the end either. And that's why I have a big fucking problem with 2-day shows. I think it's the exposure.
I do agree with Ben on that.
Like the exposure is just crazy.
Especially for an amateur.
Well, my only argument to what Fouad said was that you start chasing conditioning. That could be an issue too.
But think about the positives versus the negatives, right?
I agree.
That's also true, but
I agree.
Go ahead, Nick.
I think size is more of a dangerous route.
Well, the reason I agree with Guy is people are going to maybe take more diuretics to get to a certain weight, blah, blah, blah. I agree with that. That's a problem. I don't think we're ever going to get rid of all the risks, right? But I think judging just by what Nick said organically, I didn't prod him. He just said it. Yeah. He's going to take less gear and he's going to eat less and he's going to take a break.
Well, even like I've always wondered, like now, what What if we still ate a lot of food, trained hard, and just barely took anything?
Yeah. But I mean, even like, okay, here's.
I almost feel like to a degree, bodies might even respond better in the offseason. Honestly,
I have a perfect example for this. Look at Flex Lewis. Flex Lewis, because he reached the weight cap for such a long time, and Guy, you can attest to this because you know him probably best. He didn't train that hard for months, and he didn't eat that much for months because he couldn't get too big.
Hey,
He would take like 8 weeks off after a show, not even
look at Bumstead. Bumstead's doing it right now.
Yeah, Bumstead does that every year.
He takes like 4 months away, has to like no drugs, nothing at all.
And listen, not for nothing, but like I know a lot of people love the freaks, but if we're trying to grow the sport,
but I still think whoever is genetically gifted will always still be a freak no matter what.
Yeah, but it's still going to be a freak within a certain, like I think the physiques will be better. Like guys will work more on polish and detail and getting harder on stage, and it won't be so much. Well, how big can I get? And I got to be.
I agree, because if you push the PEDs too high, you're pushing size too quick, and then you lose your lines. You lose it all.
That's right. And I just think like if we're talking, let's talk strictly business. We're going to get more people interested in the sport. One, if less people are getting injured and less people are dying, and they can actually maybe achieve the physique. Like if somebody says, hey, I could look like Nick Walker because he's only 230 on stage. That's appealing to
That's
a lot.
still pretty big for me though, Champ.
Listen, I know
there's very few people who are good like Nick.
Okay, no, I know, but even if they think it, right now, when you look at Nick at 300 pounds, there's like, there's no way I can look like that. I'm going to go look at Bumstead. And I'm like, maybe if the physiques were a little bit more streamlined and a little smaller, we would get more people involved and more people would want to be bodybuilders. Because like now it's healthier. There's some checks and balances. I can do more shows. I don't have to be fucking huge. The barrier to entry is less because I can probably get to 220 by the time I'm 25 instead of fucking 30. Like there's so many fucking positives to just reducing
it's true, but
it's the same thing as like, I don't know, it might be a bad analogy, but look at Formula One. They put in every year, they tinker with the rules, the regulations to make it a little safer. The cars are still going round fast, but they're not fucking taking off and spinning and crashing. The drivers aren't dying anymore. But it's still competitive. But they've just had to just tighten the net on what they're allowed, what the teams are allowed to do with the cars, you know? With the whole
Formula One.
I agree.
Huh?
What's Formula One?
Racing, like IndyCar racing.
Oh, I don't watch that shit.
Yeah, but he's just saying like they've done a lot of different things to the car.
They limit the horsepower, then they limit this, but it's still competitive. It's still
but at the end of the day, do you think that would take the thrill out of the sport?
No,
and that's what I'm saying, because Formula One have done it for years, and it's still
this is kind of a bad example, but look at NFL football. Look at the rule changes in NFL football because of how fast the guys play now, how hard they hit, how fast they run. There's like limits on quarterback hits, on receiver hits, on putting your head down, on leaving your feet. Like it's made so that people can last and not get concussions and fucking all messed up.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing. People get really mad about changes and adjustments, and I'm like, there has to be. When stuff look, it was all good until stuff starts going the wrong way.
Yeah.
And then if you just turn a blind eye to it, you're like, wait a minute, are we being stupid by just not paying attention to this at all?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, no human body is supposed to be this big.
No.
That's my point. Exactly. It's like, hey, we should make this, I don't know. Guy, what do you think? You haven't really said much. What's your full opinion on any adjustments?
I mean, that it's almost like you're implementing like weight classes like they have in amateurs.
No, I don't want weight classes. I want it more like classic, where if you're a certain height, you have to be a certain weight. Yeah. You still compete together though.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's not as limited, but it's not quite as limiting as classic.
Yeah.
It's like somewhere.
I just look, I don't know about you guys, but I like watching classic. I find it very exciting. I like looking at the different physiques.
I thoroughly love classic.
So I'm like, there would be no
I think that's just getting as tense as, watching 212 or the Open at this point.
It would be no different. People would still enjoy it. The bodybuilders, there would be no classic and there would be no Open. Everybody would just be a little bigger. And I'm like, I think it's a
no brainer.
I hate to say it because people are like, oh, you're only saying that because you're retired. But I'm not, because if they had said this to me when I was competing, I would have looked better, not worse.
And you might still be competing.
I got worse when I broke 250. And I
I compete, and I agree with you.
Yeah, listen, to be honest with you, how many times have we said that guy looked better when he was younger?
Yeah.
How many times have we said that? Almost all the physiques look better.
Well, I didn't want to throw that out there.
Ronnie in like
Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
Ronnie in 99.
He used to go.
Well, look at Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler, 2001.
The bigger he got, the worse he looked.
Yeah.
I mean, look, let's just do this. Look.
Oh, well, Jay looked really good in 2009.
No, look at this. Sorry, but I'm like, I can't.
Which one? What year?
2001. Yeah.
Wait.
So look at this. This is Jay 2001. Look at this structure.
Yeah.
It's fucking beautiful.
Yep.
It's like an absolutely incredible physique. And the waist is small, quads are flaring. And then he had to push and push and push until, it just didn't. He still looked incredible in 2009. Don't get me wrong, but not like that. Like,
how much did he weigh in 01? Do you know?
I don't know, but like this to me is still incredible, but it's not as pretty.
Go back to the 01 real quick.
Oh, sorry, 1 sec. Yeah, 2001.
Can you click it? Yeah, see there? Yeah, I do like that better. What the fuck is this?
I don't know, it's some forum. Get out of here. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what he weighed here, but I don't know. I do think the earlier years are always better. Look at this. I think Jay would even agree with this statement.
I think the same thing about Kai.
Well, he's even said, he didn't want to get as big as he did.
I mean, you could say the same, all these kids that don't know Ronnie Coleman from back in the day are like, oh, Ronnie's got a huge waist. I'm like, yeah, look at him in 99.
Yep. 99 Ronnie Coleman.
Look at
Savage.
This. If Ronnie could have stayed at this weight, he would have fucking killed everybody still.
He still would have won for what, how many did he win? 8, 9?
Yeah, and but he would have been.
He still would have won.
They got one where it says 98, 99, 2003. Can you click?
Yeah, the back doubles. The back doubles.
In the middle, right in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, this
click on it. The best. Video, does it go through all of them? Does it click it, Vlad? It's a video. Does it go through like each pose?
Your mom's got
I'm too cheap for YouTube
moisturized with shea butter and.
Hello, everyone. Mark here with Mark's Max Muscle,
and
we have a tight.
Just mute it.
But look at the waist difference from the first one to the last one.
And here.
Yeah.
Like this, Ronnie still would have won all those Olympias.
Yep.
And also, let me say this. He still would have won all those Olympias. Think about how much of a break he could have took in between seasons if he was like, this is as big as I'm going to get.
Yeah.
I mean, he's suffering now.
This is brought of these pictures were all set up by
You this motherfucker.
I did.
Fuck did he just say to me?
Look at. I mean,
I like 99 the best, or 98.
I like 99 is my favorite.
99's right here. This is my favorite. Yeah.
Yep.
But I mean, even 98 still could have
98.
won.
I was about to say 98 is great too.
Yeah.
He's got a little lopsided shoulder there, but
yeah. I mean, this.
Well, I don't think he's posing that one hard.
No, he's not. He's never had a good side tricep. But look at this. Look at the detail. He just slowly lost detail. He got bigger. Don't get me wrong, but also, like you said, Nick, when you get bigger, you lose detail.
Hey, he's fucking glutes screwed down his leg. Look at that.
He got longer glutes. But look how good this is right here. This
well,
is incredible.
it's not that I think. Well, the bigger you get, yes, you lose detail, but I also think it contributes to how fast you get big.
I agree. Yes, I agree with that.
Because we could use as an example like Dexter Jackson. He got bigger almost every year, but it was very minuscule.
But look at this. Look at the depth. I mean, it could be the lighting and whatever, but like.
No, he lost detail, bro.
But look at here how thick this is.
Look how tight his lower back is, and look how not, it's.
Yeah. I mean, look at that.
Yeah.
Versus that. Right?
That looks horrible. Oh, dude, you make me want to like shrink.
Shrink, do it. Lead the way, Nick.
Oh, that's tripping me out.
I honestly feel like a lot of people will look for me to do shit like that. So now I almost feel like I have to.
Listen, I posted a photo a while back. It was when I was trying to get ready for a contest like a year ago or something like that. and I posted a back double bicep, and people are like, "Oh man, you look better than you've ever looked before." I'm like, "Man, I think they forgot how big I was." So I posted one from 2015 when I was like real full, and I posted them side by side. People were like, "No, the smaller one's better."
Yeah.
People don't like, the average person doesn't necessarily love that big puffy look, right? So I'm like, if we're trying to grow the industry and trying to grow the sport, I mean, and we're trying to keep people healthy, and we're trying to do it all, it just checks every box. So I don't know. I don't know who's listening. I don't know if the IFBB is listening. I don't know if anybody important listens to this, but maybe put it to a vote.
I think it's smart.
I mean,
it's time for it. Yeah. I mean, if we keep going down this road, if we keep,
and this is coming from a top level pro here that competes, and this, I think it's a smarter route.
Say what you're gonna say, Ben.
I said we keep sweeping it under the carpet. It's only gonna get worse.
It's gonna get worse. It is.
Nick, I'm glad you're on here, because originally I thought to myself, maybe I'll have Nick on a different one, because I didn't want to like make you feel off, because we're talking about.
No, I think this is something that needs to be discussed.
But I'm actually happy that you're on now, because as somebody who's actually 300 pounds or close to it and actually is in the sport, how would you feel if honestly they were like, "Hey, Nick, this is what
I would be okay with it," because I'll tell you, just like Jay Cutler used to say, I didn't plan on being this big.
Yeah.
You know what I want it to look like? As corny as this is really going to sound.
I know what you're going to say. You're like, I want to look like Chris Bumstead. I want to look like Chris Bumstead.
Oh, fuck no. I want it to look like Leonidas, swear to God, from 300.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you're way off that, brother.
God, you know how old you just made me feel there.
You ain't even close.
I know. That movie came out when
I was already bodybuilding. I was already in. I was already going.
I was like 12 or 13 when that movie
We pull up a fucking.
But I saw that and I was like, that's what I want to fucking look like. And then I just surpassed it.
And then pull up Leonidas.
Yeah, you wanted to look like this?
Nick, you fucked it up, man.
You fucked it up royally.
Way wrong.
Well, more so in this picture. Click that picture. The one he's holding the stick. He's holding the stick.
Holding the stick.
You're still way off, motherfucker.
I know, but like
he's like 190 pounds here.
All I wanted was like abs and big arms, and then
you did that.
You definitely did that.
And then I surpassed.
You did that like 8 years ago, man.
That's hilarious.
That was what got me like really started.
Yeah.
I think you should.
I remember seeing Ryan Reynolds and Brad Pitt, actually. Brad Pitt in Fight Club and Ryan Reynolds in Blade. And I was like, oh.
Ryan Reynolds in Blade, yeah.
Wait. What do I have to do to get you to grow your hair and beard like this, Nick? You can do it too. Your hair is like this kind of hair.
How much you willing to pay me?
We'll get people from the podcast to chip in. I think you would look great. We should do this actual photo.
I ain't chipping in for shit.
No, not you. People from the podcast that are watching.
Shut up, Dumbo ears.
Hey, listen there, skater trash beard. Don't fucking come at me sideways.
Guy, how good would Nick look with this look?
Look, ready?
And a headband. wait. Let me see. Well, yeah.
The ears don't go, bro.
But you don't have any hair, so it didn't count.
Your fucking beard don't go.
What?
I almost said something else.
What?
The Nick's beard don't go with it.
Yeah, but it will. It's going to grow it with his hair.
No, it doesn't. He's got that skater trash.
I always said if they make
it doesn't grow thick.
It's got all patchy. He's got patches Magoo on his face.
Oh no, I don't got patches. It grows.
Yeah, will it grow thick, Nick?
My ass.
It will grow thick if I let it.
Don't shave it then. Don't shave it. Done. Yeah, you're done shaving it.
Prove it.
You don't remember when I had a long beard?
No.
Long?
You never had a long beard.
Well, it was long for me. I don't.
Yeah, because you got a skater trash beard, bitch.
Okay, Mr. fucking gray beard, relax over there.
Listen, I go upstairs like Fouad and fucking throw a little can of fucking in it and be good in 2 minutes.
But you never will.
Like Fouad. You're retarded. All right. Well, this is gone.
Well, I always said if the producers from 300 make another 300, I want to be the main character.
What are you going to be, a bad guy? You fucking mutant?
How are you going to be the main character? You're fucking humongous. You can't even.
Yeah. I would have to shrink.
I'm trying to find a long beard.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to have to scroll, man.
Yeah, you post 17 fucking times a day.
How often do you post every day, Nick?
Yeah,
like 2 to 3 times.
Yeah, that's good. That's what I was doing when I was like.
Why don't you get a life and do something else?
That's what he does. That is his life. What are you talking about?
This is my life, dickhead.
There's fucking naked Nick.
The toilet one's amazing.
What are you doing here?
I messed up a word.
What, beard?
There's no beard.
What, beard?
Fouad, we ain't got time for this.
He just wants me to go through his Instagram. That's why.
No, I don't. You're going through it.
Everybody, if you don't know Nick Walker, this is him. If you got some of those veins removed, you make the weight 240 easy.
See, look.
You're showing those veins.
You're such an asshole.
Yo, that's not. You gotta come on. You're better.
Wait, I gotta actually say this, and
got better comebacks than that. Stop it.
I gotta say this. And Justin's not here, but I want to say it because I got a message from somebody that actually it's important. One sec. Would you shut up for a second? So, all right, I'm glad you guys love each other. Are you done?
Yeah.
This is important. This is important.
All right,
okay.
Phil, go ahead.
So I know we've been making fun of Justin for his amputation, right? Justin plays along and blah, blah, blah.
I was thinking Rodriguez.
No, Justin Shire.
Yeah.
So Justin plays along and he enjoys it. He actually said to me, like, it doesn't bother him at all. But I got a message from another amputee who said, look, you guys are pretty harsh sometimes. I don't. It's Guy is the worst. Well, Guy's pretty fucking Guy's bad. The fucking worst. He unloads on the guy. You are pretty harsh.
Well, first of all, he said, this is what happens when you don't wear weightlifting gloves, and he couldn't fix his hand up. I'm
okay,
like,
wait, that's perfect. That's perfect. You said that. 1 second.
How can I not jump on? Like, he opens the door for it. So like, we don't gotta make like here's an alley. It's like here's a layup, guy. Don't take it.
I'll tell you why it's not right. So the person,
right? This
is why the person said, if Justin makes the joke, it seems to people that Justin is owning it and it doesn't care, right? But when we make the joke and laugh at it, it makes people that have any type of affliction that's similar feel like we're laughing at him instead of with him.
I am laughing at him.
I only laugh if Justin laughs.
Wait,
I just don't think it's right to
make
fun of amputees.
No. That's fucking bullshit. We just live in people just being pussies, right? You guys mock me for having no back or not being a pro. You know how many
Chinese.
people are not? Whatever it is. You know how many people are not pros and how many people have shitty backs? And then they're going to sit there and be like, "Oh, you shouldn't make fun of Ben because
it's a little different having no back versus having actually no fingers."
Nah,
you don't actually have no back. Like you didn't get your back amputated.
Yeah, if you were like missing the lat muscle, that would be different.
Like if you had absolutely like no back and it was amputated, I wouldn't.
Hold on. Wait, let me stop for a second. Can I say something?
Yes.
I did. Okay. With no interruptions.
Sorry.
This is called bro chat, right?
Yes.
I call my friends way worse off this podcast. So we talk as if we were talking to each other.
Okay, yeah.
And we actually censor stuff because I use other words that I don't use on the podcast because people would take it the wrong way. So the way I would bust Justin's balls behind closed doors is how I treat him on the podcast.
Yeah.
This is why the joke. So I get that this is like a public podcast, but if we're boys and this is called bro chat, and Nick just said I got big ears. What's the difference to calling me having big ears?
Oh my God! Don't say what's the difference.
Okay. All right.
Nick, how do I deal with this?
Hold on. Time out.
It's not even the same.
It's no. The point is, you're still busting my balls, right?
Yeah,
it's not the same.
We're all out. I know, but what I'm saying is, this is bro chat. We talk to each other as if we're like just hanging out and talking. So people can't be so fucking sensitive to everything, especially if the amputee's laughing with us.
But. Okay.
Look,
I get your point.
No,
guy's super short. He doesn't have a choice over that. We rip on him for that.
But that's not an affliction. He's just short.
It is. Fucking is. Look how little he is.
It's not a plot. It's I got a fucking step stool right there. That's a step stool. That's so I can reach the cabinets, all right? You pricks.
It's cute.
Any amputees that want to get mad, I might as well not have fucking legs.
I don't make fun of you for being short.
In my kitchen.
I do. It's definitely an affliction. It's 100% an affliction.
All right.
I might as well be fucking missing fucking from the knees down. I got to use a step stool to reach a cabinet.
Maybe I need to take a shot of test. I don't know. I read that guy. I read the guy's DM.
You don't do TRT?
Very rare. It's not normal.
Listen, hold on.
Every 2 weeks.
Hold on. Time out.
You're still pretty jacked, man.
Hold on.
Thanks.
Do I feel bad for Justin for having his the missing fingers or any amputee? Yes, but fucking comedians make fun of things because
You're not a
sometimes-
comedian.
This is, but dude, there's an element. Wait,
I'm the
there is
funniest
an
person I
element
know.
of comedy
I don't know.
here, though.
I'm the
There's
funniest person that
I'm
I've
the
ever met.
funniest person I know.
Dude, there is an element of comedy to these podcasts.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. Fuck. Okay, I'm
So
maybe
like,
I'm being-
I feel bad for any amputee 110%.
I just
That's
feel
horrible.
like maybe we should draw a line somewhere. Maybe
Stop.
amputation.
How many fucking lines? Why don't you
feeling.
cancel the fucking show? Goodbye.
Yeah, you're being a pussy.
All right.
Yeah. Stop taking.
It's-
All right. If you're an amputee, I'm sorry, but guy's going to be relentless. I will watch my mouth.
That's not what I
Listen,
said.
everybody can do what they want. You want to get amputees to hate you, then that's fine. That's
I just said I feel
no, it's okay,
horrible.
guy. If you want to take out your frustrations on amputees, that's fine.
How is this fucking come on me? Guys, I'm the fucking
Listen,
Because
bro.
you're arguing to be able to make fun of them.
Yeah, you're
No.
arguing. I'm making
No,
fun of
not them, Justin.
Yeah, but
But-
what Fouad is saying is Justin's okay with it, but other amputees aren't.
It's
Maybe
like,
other
it's like
people don't-
okay, wait a
so
second.
don't watch
Maybe
it then.
short people get offended by maybe
Man.
actual dwarfs or midgets get offended by your short jokes towards me.
Yeah, don't watch it then.
Should we say that to the amputees too?
Like,
Then we're
but
gonna
I
have all tall fat people with all limbs watching it, and that's it.
Until we make fun of fat people.
Joy, just put in the comments, just put like not amputee friendly on the advisory.
or
Just
midgets or
Fat
dwarfs.
people will-
Just put not
Or
fat
Chinese or people with no backs. Oh, I tell you, fuck off.
If
Well,
you get offended
we're gonna go-
easily, don't watch.
Yeah, maybe we should just say that. If you get offended, don't watch.
Yeah.
We do make fun of everybody.
No, but the fat
Yeah.
people that we gave credit to, we actually said fat people are healthy or just as
Yeah,
Healthy
we gave
as
fat
fucking
people
people
a
are.
pass today.
so I'm team fat fucks.
No, to go back to that subject though, Fouad, actually, could you contribute social media to a lot of this as well?
To what?
What?
People wanting to look a certain way that's
Oh, of
completely
course.
unhealthy.
Of course.
Yeah, 100%. I think a
I
lot.
just thought I think that was one we're missing. I think people still do hardcore shit year
Okay.
round to present themselves very well on social media.
So-
I think
so a
people
couple
also get
things.
misinformed a lot too by wrong people.
So a couple things
Well,
I want to a couple things I want to address that were said to me from Paul. Paul and a couple other people said some stuff. I just want to address them because I know someone else is thinking it.
Shout out to
So-
Paul.
Shout out to Paul.
Oh,
So Paul said, well, somebody else will just start a federation where it's unlimited and guys can get as jacked as they want.
No.
And I'm like, okay, wait, let's say that did happen. To me, that federation will suffer the consequences of people being unhealthy or passing away or whatever. The
Yeah.
IFBB is the standard.
It has to
So
come from
the
them.
IFBB has to lead the way. And if there's other federations that do that shit, that's fine, right? Like,
There's only one fucking federation.
no, but it's kind of like, look, there's UFC, right? Listen, there's UFC, and then there's bare knuckle fighting. Bare knuckle fighting is cool to watch, but the UFC is always going to be the fucking top dog. So it's like, I feel like
Yeah.
if bodybuilding is being represented by the IFBB should be the ones to do the things that represent bodybuilding in the most positive light. But we can never stop. And Paul was like, what about the average gym freak that wants to just be huge? I'm like, look, we can't ever stop those people. But
but they're not competing.
well, this is what I'm saying. The
It's- it's
federation,
different.
the
Yes.
federation represents what bodybuilding is, not the guy at the gym that wants to be fucking 300 pounds shredded. That's not the guy that represents bodybuilding. The IFBB represents bodybuilding. So when people look at bodybuilding, they look at the federation, what the Arnolds, the Olympia, that's what they look at. So you're never going to be able to stop every single fucking person from getting huge. They can do whatever they want in their own lives. The federation is got to represent bodybuilding the best way they can. So
I agree.
to those people saying that stuff, yeah, you're still going to have people who want to be unhealthy. You're still going to have people who want to be fucking humongous. That's never going to go away. But the IFBB should be representing something better than, not better than what we're doing now, but something that's better for the longevity of the sport, I guess, is what I'm saying. So yeah, I don't know, man. There's going to be outliers. Look, even Ben was saying earlier, like, well, you're still going to have a guy who weighs, if the weight cap's 220, you're still going to have a guy who weighs 200 pounds who's going to gas super fucking hard to get to 220. What are you texting him, you fucking asshole? I'm not going until we're not talking. I'm pausing it here. We're going to pause the podcast until you tell me what the fuck you're talking about.
You can actually unpause it because it'll be funny.
What is it?
I just texted him a picture. I can't say what I said. Took a picture of this and I go, "This is your fag drink."
You're such an asshole.
You got to read my response. I text you back.
I don't get no cream fag. But I will fucking smack the shit out of you.
Look at that face. That's like a face. That's like a face of a
reach.
disappointed father.
Motherfucker, I can't see that.
You guys are like the kids in the back of the class that are like just fucking retarded.
Of course, that's why people fucking always like that when we're together.
I know.
Together forever.
We're trying to have a serious conversation. You're adding nothing, probably because you're stoned. But
first of all,
probably.
I know.
First of all, are we recording or no?
Yes, we are.
Oh.
Can't tell if you're baked.
He's like this. He's like, I'm not stoned. Open those fucking eyes.
When I'm like this, you guys never say a word to me about being stoned.
No, because I can't see your eyes.
You look handsome.
See, my eyes are just naturally fucking squinty, bro.
You're naturally fucking
Hey,
high.
Chinese people can get offended. Fuck you. You can't say that.
Don't say that.
You got naturally low eyes.
Sorry.
Let's try doing a whole episode without offending anybody.
Ooh,
Easy. You ready? Don't tell me we're doing a podcast then.
Don't record.
If I don't record, it'll be
one.
worse. You guys don't turn it on for the recording. You actually dumb it down a bit.
Yeah.
What?
Huh?
You should have heard these guys in Texas. Holy fuck! Ben and Justin. I couldn't repeat anything they were saying.
Don't put me in with the amputee.
Wait,
Don't put they.
Don't put me with the amputee.
Damn.
You can't say it when he's not here. It's even worse.
That didn't last long.
Wait, who was driving the Polaris?
We both did, but in the video it was Justin.
That fucking like got a little error.
Yeah.
Did you guys break it?
No, it's fine.
They tried to. They fucking tried to.
It's just so listen. So the first time I went over it, I went like kind of easy, and Justin's like, "You got to gun it, man." I'm like, "It's not ours, dude."
I could picture the conversation in my head.
I'm like, dude, it's not ours. I don't want to fucking break. He's like, "Oh, you're a pussy." So I went back harder, and he's like, "Oh, let me drive." So then he just fucking hammers it all the way through. I'm like, "What the fuck?" So yeah, it was a good time. We had a lot of fun.
Then they posted it on social media for everyone.
Denise was thrilled. Ben.
Huh?
Let's put it this way, guy. We're not allowed to drive it anymore.
Yeah, it's off limits now.
It's off limits.
See, me and Brett, when I took it out with Brett, we were just cruising. Like
Yeah.
we avoided.
But it's supposed to be 4.
That's because you guys are boring as fuck. That's why.
Yeah. Well, now nobody can have nice things because of you.
It
Asshole.
really-
I'm gonna buy a 4-wheeler and leave it at Ben's house so we could fuck with
You
it.
can do that. Well, no, we have the quad. You can take the quad next time.
Yeah.
Or like
I want to take the quad out.
No, Nick. When you're
When
here,
you come
we
to
have
Houston.
No, Nick. When you're here, we have the jet skis and we can hoon those.
Actually, a guy sent me a DM that there's a
I
place.
like jet skis.
There's a guy, Ben told me, there's a guy DM me told me there's a place not far from your house that's rents like all off-road stuff, like
There's
motorcycles.
fucking loads of them.
Yeah, let's just do that. We'll go rent a few and just beat the shit out of them.
Yeah.
Like on an actual track.
How far from your house? Let's do it.
The jet skis are fucking hilarious. They'll be fun.
Yeah.
Or we can just go to Eagle Canyon and just
We actually have to go get
Guys got the right idea.
Yeah, that's fucking like 2.5
What do you say?
hours.
What do you say?
We'll go to Eagles Canyon and race cars, but that also
That's
costs a lot of money
too
too.
far. And his thing with the jet
cheaper than
skis,
buying a Polaris.
you
We
can
race
flip.
cars.
You can flip the jet skis and you're fine.
I don't know if I want to flip a jet ski.
I was on a jet ski once
I wiped out hard.
and he hit a fucking wave, and I was laughing so hard that when I landed in the water, I almost drowned because I was laughing and I couldn't catch my breath and I couldn't fucking get to the top of
Were you wearing a life vest? You weren't wearing a life vest?
What?
You weren't wearing
No.
a life vest?
No,
I will not.
No,
I will
we
not
have
go
to.
on the water. I will not.
No,
go
no,
on the
we
water
have
for
to.
life.
No. We have. You're too damn heavy.
They got one my size.
Yeah,
We'll get you one.
we're getting big
Yeah,
ones.
we're gonna
That's a
attach you to
serious
the
question.
boat. Nick, we're gonna tie your life vest to a boat.
Yeah. Nick, there is no way you could swim. There's no way.
I can swim.
No, you can't.
No, just take it on the chin. You can't swim. Don't
Listen,
worry about
I
it.
didn't say
guarantee-
how long I can swim
Well,
for. I just said I
It's
can
like
swim.
it's like motherfucking hippopotamus. Get out
You
of
could
here.
tread water for like 30 seconds max, and then you're
it's
you're going
about
right to
it.
yeah. No, I tried to swim
Feel
once,
like a
man.
big ass turtle in the fucking ocean until you fucking just boot.
Man, I tried to swim after gaining some muscle. It is not. It's fucking ugly. You can't make it far at all, man.
No, I know.
You're fuck. I wouldn't even go into deep water without a vest ever again. There's no fucking way.
In college football, one of the things we had to do was like a lap. So it was there and back 4 times. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had.
What do you mean? In the water?
Yeah, swim time.
Like an Olympic pool?
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. It was one of the hardest physical things I've ever done.
Well, and you were
imagine
you were way smaller than you are
I was like 100 and probably 70, 80 pounds.
Yeah, imagine doing that at 290 pounds.
And the reason was it probably would have been easy if I was just like swimming.
It's pretty close to what he is now anyway. He maxed out at like 205, I think, right?
Pick an exercise.
I was 205 pounds at my very first show ever.
What?
Really?
Watch this, Nick. How many pro shows you have? Win.
Well, if you compete against the big boys, your pro shows.
Here we go.
don't
No,
even count.
I'm just asking.
I'm just saying, as in an open class, your shows don't even count.
Oh, okay. Well, my open
Like
shows
nobody
don't
care.
count?
Like nobody cares about winning 212 shows. Like,
Okay,
nobody cares.
I did. I took 5th and 6th at an open show. How many times did you take 5th and 6th?
Well, I didn't because I was placing 2nd and 3rd and 1st.
I took 5th at an Arnold in Australia.
Yeah, in Australia with one person there.
No, that was a big class.
Shut up.
I won 2 out of 4.
I can never
shows
get the
so far.
stats. You guys never give me stats because I'm the only 212 on the fucking podcast.
Just
fucking
saying.
Listen, we all have our faults. Justin has no fingers. You're a 212 guy. It's all the same.
I hope all the amputees are.
Listen, I love your 7 pro wins. I give you, but not when we're fighting. Then they mean nothing.
Fucker, yeah.
That's when they mean the most because that's when I have rep, but I can use level.
No, that's what I'm going to say. That's what
Guy,
I'm
how
gonna
many
say
pro
they're
wins do you have?
7.
Yeah, but not when we're fighting. When we're fighting, it means nothing.
When we're fighting, apparently it's 3.5 because I get everything cut in half because it's 212.
That's right.
That was what happened the other fight. So who said that? Was it Justin or Brett? Like,
I forget.
they were like, they don't count, but you only get half for them, so you only have 3.5 wins.
Well, that's still more than me, so that's good.
How many do you have?
212, right?
2 wins.
2.
But I had a bunch stolen from me. I should have 4 at least.
Yeah, I should then if we were going to play that game, I should have like 15 wins.
Yeah, but your opinion of yourself is way higher than it actually is supposed to be.
That's actually low as fuck.
No, it's not.
It definitely is.
Dude, you took
Again?
You took 12th at a show and you're like, I should have been 3rd.
Wait, no, it's 10th. 4th.
But think about that. That's a little bit odd.
Yeah,
Like,
hold on.
that's not accurate.
Hold on. Wait, hold on. Time out.
It's not like you play second. You're like, I should have been
Somebody
first.
actually did a video. Hold on. Time out. Somebody did a video,
Yeah.
broke down who disagreed with me, and just like you, and actually broke down pose by pose on.
I'm
stage.
not disagreeing with you because I don't remember what it all looked like. I'm just saying when you're 10th and you say you should have been 3rd, it's not really
Yeah,
like,
that's
I
right.
said fourth.
Oh, sorry, man. My bad.
I'm not disagreeing because I didn't.
Was
I
that
didn't
the
see it.
Olympia?
Yeah. I'm not saying that though. Like I'm talking one placing.
Hey,
Guys
No,
mad at me. Guys mad at me.
No, I took 2nd and 3rd a lot too. I
Hey.
have more 2nds and 3rds than I do
hey,
first.
guys.
Hi.
What was your highest placing at the Olympia?
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you, Nick.
6.
I was just wondering. Thanks.
Nick, you can suck my dick.
What was
Suck my
Fouad's? What was yours?
17th.
I was 6.
I
That's
thought
not
you
fair.
were about to say 7.
That's not fair. My fucking coach fucked off on me the last 2 days.
Maybe because you sucked.
Oh, no
Maybe.
shit,
That's
really?
that's possible.
Do I get an honorary
Is
fourth?
that possible?
Do I get an honorary fourth with Hunter?
No, you
No,
don't
wait,
get anything.
Wait, hold on. Watch this.
Nick's
Wait.
like, fuck off.
So wait,
You weren't on stage.
Fouad, if you took 17th and the last placing they give somebody is 16th, and we give Ben honorary 16th place, he technically is placed higher than you at the Olympia. Has never
Why are we
competed.
giving Ben honorary 16th place?
Because he's the last on the podcast because he's not the pro.
Why does he get an honorary Olympia place? What
Oh,
the fuck are you
but
talking
that's
about?
still the last placing, and he still beat you.
But you have to make it to the show, you fucking asshole.
You're not even getting,
You have to have a
honorary.
pro card first, buddy.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Brad, I'm
And
just
you're
trying to get
sixth
some
at the
shit
fucking
for
212
You're
doesn't
welcome,
count.
man.
How many people were even competing? 8
Where?
at your 6th place?
24.
No, there wasn't. You're lying.
20. Pull it up.
No, I'm just going to assume you're lying.
Sweet.
Just joking.
Yo, when he gets annoyed, I love it.
I'm just fucking with you, guy. It's okay.
I got to leave for Sweden tomorrow night. I'm doing this nonsense.
Because you love.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got for gas, right?
13 days, bro.
I don't know if I could be. You know,
That's
I got to
too
go
long.
away
I
for a
can't do
couple
shit
weeks.
like that, man.
You
I was
long.
going to say that. I got to go away for a couple weeks at the end of June. And I'm like, I was gone for 4 days. I missed my dog and shit.
I was gone for 8 days in Pakistan. I wanted to like
Guys, serious question. Who watches your dogs, man?
Yeah.
my parents.
Do they?
They
Oh.
come here. Yeah.
They
No,
come-
they like, so my mom will stay home. My dad will come for a couple days. My dad will go home. My mom will come here.
Oh, they stay at your house.
Yeah, because it's easier. Because my
Yeah,
dogs like everything. They know where everything is. Like they don't worry about like hair getting in their house or.
But we just had to. Sorry, talking about dogs. Like an hour ago, before we started the podcast, I'm sitting by the back door and Denise just screams. The fucking dogs have got one of the ducks and they're ripping it.
No way.
Yeah.
Dude,
Which
his
dog?
His dog's big as fuck.
No, he didn't do
Oh, you
shit.
saw him.
He was
You
just
saw him, guy.
He was just sitting
Yeah,
there
the one,
watching.
the one that apparently like 2 months ago found God and now like likes people.
Well, that's because
Yeah,
he
no,
cut
he
his
does.
nuts off.
Huh?
He cut his nuts off.
Oh,
That's
Yeah,
why he
okay.
found God.
He's better now, right?
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't try and kill me.
did you actually
Who?
pet him?
No, I still stayed away from him.
Oh,
But we had him in the. Hey, guys, we had him.
better? He was much better this time. What? Because I got like 2 feet closer.
Yeah.
No, guy, we had him in the house.
Yeah, he was in the house. He was like right there. And he was sitting right there and he didn't try and kill me.
Yeah,
Why
but
are you like,
Z, our little pit bull just tore the duck apart.
Are you
Denise
talking
had-
about are you
Did
talking
you
about
say a duck?
the girl or the two babies?
No, the baby, the pups are over the other house. The
you
Z.
say
Wait.
a duck?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You said a duck?
Yeah, we had 4 ducks. We now don't have 4 ducks.
Now killed all of them?
No, she got one, and she ripped one of them apart.
Now you have 3 ducks and duck soup.
Did she eat the duck or no?
She was mauling it. We ran out and fucking ripped it out of her.
No.
The duck-
Like I know she killed it, but did she try and like actually eat it?
I thought she was in the middle of killing it.
Oh,
Denise-
I hope my bully never does.
Denise had to wring its neck because it was still alive.
oh,
Rough.
Denise is hardcore, man.
Well, she was sobbing as she was doing it. I'm not picking that shit up.
Wait, was it the one with the crooked neck?
No, that motherfucker's still alive. Old
I was
Igor.
thinking-
Igor's
if it
still
was-
alive.
I was gonna say if it was him, might have been put out of his misery. Might have,
No,
you
she
know.
went for Igor's neck.
Now
and-
you're making fun of fucking afflictions.
It's
on
the duck's like, have you not seen the duck? It's like this.
no.
I actually haven't. I kind of want to see it.
That's impersonation of it.
And it's
I kind of want to see the duck.
yeah.
I didn't believe it, but the neck literally comes up for an inch and then just makes a hard right turn.
It's like whose cock is like that? We were talking about that.
Yours.
Oh, that was my.
It's yours.
No, it doesn't.
You've lived with your cock your whole life and you can't
11,
remember it.
It's 11. It's 11:55,
yours.
guys. It's like this. Instead of like this, it's like this.
No, this duck's got a fucking right angle in its neck.
Yeah, no, this duck's at 3 o'clock.
It's got a slight curve.
You guys are good, man. I needed this.
See, was I right? Or was I right?
You're right. I was going to cancel tonight and just do
I know
it
you
like
were. No
another
way,
day.
bro. We need this shit.
Well, no, he
I don't want to make.
he didn't find God. He found Guy, and then he had the podcast.
That's true.
What?
That's true. I love that.
I'm gonna put this out there now because I don't want to make this about me, but I'm never competing ever again. Just because I always have people ask, I'm officially retired from.
Well, I mean, you've been on the fence, and something like this can make.
That's what I mean.
decisions. Yeah.
I
Are you
want-
being serious or are you going to change your mind next week?
No, 1,000%. I'm all the way out. Like I was on the fence a little bit because.
Are you in a prep?
So I would. Well, for this. Okay, here's the whole story. Back in 2017, I got like kidney infection and I got sepsis, and then since then I've been battling like some issues with the kidneys, right? So we've always been like just trying to keep them where they were. Well, at 20 weeks out, I was going to do USAs. At 20 weeks out, I went and got blood work done. I was like, okay, I'm about to put the hammer down, so let me see. And things weren't good. They'd actually got worse. So I pulled back
With
a
your
bit.
kidney?
Yeah, I pulled back and then we fixed some things and things were looking better and they have been better for the last 5 weeks. Well, I was going to go and I got blood work done another set done and that looked better. So I was going to go this week and get more done. And I was talking to Fouad this weekend. I was like, what? I'm still like dieting to get leaner, just without any anabolics or anything. I said, I'll wait till I get to like 10 to 12 weeks out. And if I'm still like healthy, I'll probably flip the switch and just do one last prep. At this point now, I can confidently say it's not worth it and I'm not doing it. So,
well, I mean, anybody who's on the
you also have a family too, you know.
Look,
yeah,
this is what I was talking about the sport growing. If someone's on the fence, it doesn't matter where they are in their age, right? If you're 18, 19, 20, you're like, I kind of want to try that. Maybe I don't. Maybe I want to do it. And then you find out like some of your heroes are passing away. It's going to turn you off. And you're going to be like, you know what? Maybe I don't want to do that anymore.
And it sucks when it turns into, I get a text and I'm like, hey, did you hear Cedric? And I'm like,
Guy, can I tell you? That's what I wrote. The very first line of a post I made is
I'm numb. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what to, like, at this point, like, what do you do? Like, do you get upset? Do you get mad? Like, do you try to justify it? Like, I
think you get to a point, you start to get mad.
I'll be honest with you where I'm at. So when
I took my car out today, if it matters.
So listen, Luke passed. That was sad. And then when John died, I was actually really fucking angry.
Me and you talked that day, remember?
Yeah,
we both did the same thing.
Yeah. And I think now with this, even though I wasn't as close to Cedric as I was with Luke or John, especially, I'm just like, look, I don't care who hates me. I'm going to start talking about change. Like, look, there has to be a change. There has to be. And I don't know, I probably can't. I don't know if I have any influence. I don't know if anybody will listen, but I'm like, I don't think anything I said on this podcast about weight limits or judging would hurt the sport in any fucking way at all.
No.
I think people would still enjoy the sport. I think people would be, I think bodybuilders would be healthier. I think it would attract more people if they knew they could be healthier. I would never say anything to ruin bodybuilding. So I would never say anything that I thought would ruin bodybuilding. But I don't think I will ever say again, which is something I did think was possible. I don't think I will ever say again that it's possible to be healthy and do bodybuilding as it is now, because I don't think you can be 300 fucking pounds for 20 years straight, no matter how many times you get blood work, no matter how many vitamins and minerals you take, no matter how many fucking vitamin drips you get. It's just, I don't think the body can fucking handle it, man. I just don't think the body.
And a lot of times people are chasing it and they're chasing a ghost. Like, it'll never happen.
Well, look, I'm the prime example, right? Yeah. Because turning pro and winning pro shows and being at the Olympia would put my mindset in a slightly different place, right?
Yeah.
But if I step back and look at where I'm at realistically, what am I doing? Like, the only reason I do it is because I damn well fucking love it, right? And that's never, like, that's the hardest part for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not in a position where I'm going to be earning money or trying to like achieve anything great. I just do it because I love it. Mm-hmm. I have to stop chasing that goal. And if I was trying to chase a pro card, there's plenty of guys like me that are chasing a pro card and really fucking jeopardizing their health for no payoff.
But you know what? Wait, 1 sec, just to add to that. You know what's even more important that we haven't talked about was, so let's say, and just hypothetical numbers, let's say 10,000 bodybuilders every year try and turn pro.
Yeah.
Let's say they give out 50 pro cards or 100 pro cards, whatever the fuck the number is, right?
Yeah.
Like 9,900 of them are just going to keep on hammering away.
Yep.
And keep, not a lot of, there's probably going to be some that quit, right? Let's say there's 5,000 that don't quit. They just keep going. And out of that 5,000, maybe another 1,000 over time turn pro. There's still 4,000 left that are like just.
And here's the thing: why am I not turning pro? I'm not big enough.
Well, this is what I'm saying.
I don't have enough muscle. I need more food, more drugs. Keep going.
And if there was weight caps, you would still find the genetically elite would turn pro and the others wouldn't. But they would no longer just be like, well, I didn't turn pro because I'm not big enough. So they would just take more gear. It would be, maybe I didn't turn pro because I don't have a back, or I didn't turn pro because I don't have a this or that. And it wouldn't be about getting bigger.
It's like the college kids that are trying to get in the NFL
Yeah.
There's a clear point at which they now no longer can get drafted, right?
Yeah,
and
then eventually they just walk away.
And then they move on with their lives.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I guess that's true too. Like if you got to 230 or got to 240 or whatever the cap was in the amateur level, and you still couldn't turn pro, eventually you'd be like, well, I'm not cut out for this.
Yeah, you don't have the shape, you don't have the structure, which I don't.
Yeah.
Hey, hang it up, buddy. Because that was me, right? The first show I ever did, my very first show, I was like 231 pounds on stage.
Yeah.
Didn't look like it. I looked like a fucking 160 pounds on stage.
Yeah.
Okay, I need to get bigger. Got bigger. My structure didn't get better.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't threaten any higher up the pro ranks. I just got heavier, more muscle. You know, I'm that example.
Anyway, look, we can wrap this up. I just wanted to say, any opinions you guys hear today are obviously fresh off the news about Cedric. We may all feel different a week from now. We may have different ideas 2 weeks from now, who knows? But in the moment, in the place I'm in right now in my head, after what's happened to Cedric and previous friends that have passed, I'm like, this is where my mind is right now. So whether it's wrong or right, I apologize to people listening, but just kind of how I feel at the moment.
I don't think we'll be wrong in accepting that something probably needs to happen. How that happens, I think, is up for discussion.
No, and that's why I'm not apologizing and saying that something needs to change. I'm just saying,
yeah,
I'm sorry if my opinions seem too strong.
Well, I'm going to say this, I'm going to cut you off.
Yeah.
Not that I ever cut anybody off, but I think any opinion is not wrong at this point, because any opinion to try to help, you're just trying to help. So it may not be the best opinion.
Good point. Yeah.
It may not be what others think. But any point of trying to
You're right.
save lives, it shouldn't be apologized for.
Well, I think there's
a million ways to skin a fucking cat too. You know, and I think, you could draw ideas, I could draw ideas. Nick, they might take one, none, but they're all fucking in a positive light, no matter what.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, you're right. Having the discussion is better than not talking about it at all, just fucking ignoring it.
I mean, look, we might look. You didn't even want to do the podcast today.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, I said to Fouad, I go, sometimes just talking about it, even we don't always have to have a joking around podcast. Like we had, there was some fucking laughing and joking and amputee jokes and shit like that. But at the end of the day, I think all we did for everybody was inform them. And I think everybody's going to be looking for some sort of answer to something after this, because this is another one that hit close to home. So people are going to appreciate the fact that we jumped on tonight, even though we all kind of were like, there's other things we'd rather be doing and thinking about tonight than a podcast after what happened today. But, I think nothing but positivity came of this, You're
right. Thank you, Guy, for
not
pushing me, but no, I'm being serious. Thank you.
You could have said no.
No, I'm just saying thanks for kind of pushing it, because I was going to just sit around and think about it. And I'm happy that we had it. This is actually I feel like
your mind a little bit.
I feel like it's nice to just be around friends, and it's also nice to have a productive conversation that hopefully people watching will go home and talk to their fucking friends about it, or talk in the locker rooms about it. And like, maybe other people have other ideas, who knows? But it just, I think you're right. I don't think anything bad can come from just having a discussion.
No,
absolutely not.
Okay, boys, anybody want to add anything before we sign off for tonight?
I think at the live.
Why are you laughing at it?
The live.
Guy always has to say something.
You know that thing we did, or we talked about doing the strap.
The strap.
Not strap on. The running with the thing.
I'm gonna smoke you with that.
Hold on. We should do it on stage. Let the guys. Hold on. Or outside somewhere.
We're gonna do it outside in Houston.
No. What? Hold on.
Okay.
If we do it at the live road chat, we have everybody pick who they think is going to win, and then we have like whatever a live punishment on stage for the whole for that whole group.
Dude, I'm gonna smoke you.
Okay. You and your tornado.
Sounds like a bet to
dude.
me.
I outweigh you.
It could be like everybody's gonna like if Team Fouad loses, or let's say Team Fouad wins.
Okay, let's say this.
Everybody on my team's got to shave their head.
1 second. Let's just say this.
I'm not doing that again.
My legs are as strong as your legs, right? Let's just say that.
I fancy my chances to take on the winner.
So listen, I think Ben will kill us both. But so listen, I
have an Olympian
two things
to do it.
working against you. My
Hold
legs
on,
are.
I'm
Let me
allowed
finish.
Oh wait, can I talk after you're done though?
Yes,
Okay.
my legs are as strong as yours, and I outweigh you by 70 pounds. There's
How much
absolutely
you weigh?
no.
How much you weigh?
266 today.
You outweigh me by 56.
Okay, that's still 50 fucking pounds.
Okay.
Okay, so I have weight advantage and
You
strength.
guys
is
so
equal.
little.
Okay.
Okay, how can you beat me?
Speed.
We're not running a distance. We're leaning against the fucking.
Yes,
spring.
but speed, agility, like it's the first step. The first,
No,
and I'm lower to the ground.
Wait, if there's tension, if you're going to take the tension out before you both, if you're going to brace, right? Fouad's going to win.
No,
Yeah,
he's saying if we're lying on our backs, we have to get up.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but Ben's saying if we're both already in position.
Well, you already have that. You have an advantage already.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But that's how it starts.
No, you don't. That's like when you do tug of war, they go, okay.
Well, of course you're going to get up faster than Fouad.
They take the tension and then they go.
It's not a football drill.
Then we just start back to back.
No, you start with the tension already in the rope, and then he says go.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think I could win that.
Oh.
I'm not that fat.
Yeah, I got all the fat on my, and I'm going to eat more before. I'm going to get up to like 275.
That was the funniest thing.
Yeah, like I can't win that. I can't win that. It's like asking me to sumo wrestle at fucking my weight.
That's right. You can't do it. But Ben will beat both of us because he's got stronger legs and he's heavier than both of us. So,
yeah, well,
but I'll still take him on just for fun.
But it's a game of weight at that point.
Well, I mean, at that point,
then Nick wins.
But wait, what
Nick can't play. It's in his contract.
What happened if
I'm not allowed to do any physical activity outside?
Nick can't do anything but work out.
What happened if we were leaning and your hamstring just tore and I just took off? And just
I would use my hands. I got to win. I can't lose.
You'd be like, ah!
What hamstring? It's already gone. I have to tear the other one.
The one you tore that you're like, hey, my hamstrings are fucking better than guys.
Yeah, but it's scored, but it looks better.
This guy.
That's how bad your hamstrings are. Mine look better even torn.
Okay.
It does look dope.
Wait, Fouad, you can't wrap your knees then.
Oh, that's a problem. We trained legs on Sunday.
I couldn't get the fucking wrap off his knee. It was so tight.
Really? My knees were, by the end of the workout, my right knee was bothering me. So I wrapped it for the last set of leg press. And I fucking just strapped in like super, super tight. But I beat Justin.
Well, it's everyone. Yeah, he beat everyone.
Because we were doing the Cybex leg press and they were doing 7 plates. And I'm like, you guys are going to top
squat press? The squat press?
Yeah, the hip press.
Yeah.
Not hip press, whatever, squat press. Yeah.
7 plates?
So they said we're going to top set at 7 plates, and I'm like, why?
It's like we're doing final exercise. I'd already squatted. Like we'd already done.
Ben squatted like 6 plates already, like earlier. They were going to do 7 plates for 20, and I'm like, I'm going to go up to 9. They're like, no, you're not. So Justin did 7 plates for 24 reps or something like that. So I'm like, I put 2 more plates on, and I did it for 25. Just to piss him off. It's like the hardest thing I ever did in my life, but I'm so old and competitive that I'm like, I'm gonna.
And you're like, yeah, I won the Olympia.
Yeah,
Olympia win.
No, he laid on the floor for 5 minutes.
I was dead. My fucking
same thing. When I bury somebody in the gym now, I'm like, winner. Winner.
Like somebody.
And in my head, I'm like, you're so old, bro.
I know. No, but I'll be honest with you guys, and I wanted to talk about this on the podcast tonight, but Justin was busy, but. We talk about different training styles so often and people think there's such a gap. Man, me, Ben, and Justin trained together and it really wasn't that different.
Yeah.
Like their breaks weren't that long. I mean, maybe Ben would have taken longer if I wasn't there. I don't know, but their breaks
a tiny bit, a little bit.
It's like when we talk about on the podcast, it sounds like the training is so different, but it's like really small intricacies. That
when me, you, James, and Ben trained together, it was all the same.
Well, they went way fast for us that day.
Oh, see, that's about the speed that I go.
So on Sunday when we trained, I backed off a bit and Ben sped up a bit. So we met like in the middle.
Okay,
it was good.
So that was fast for you guys.
And like when
we trained, they were like, what the fuck?
James stayed at the house afterwards, and we trained for like 3 or 4 days. And afterwards, we were training like chest, I think. And James was like, "This is way better. This is much better."
They like to
agree.
talk and stuff between sets, and when I'm by myself, like when I'm training, I get
It's like me.
I can't.
I keep it moving.
The main
too, I go.
The main
Go ahead,
difference we had when we were training was once we were warmed up, as we're building up in weight, I do far less reps on the way up. And Fouad does like a set of, he'll do like 8, 6, 7, 8 reps, then add more weight. I'll do like 3 or 4, add a weight, 3 or 4, add.
That's the biggest.
Then I'm down. Like but when I did I did 6 plates, but when I did 5 plates, I only did 1 rep with it and racked it.
I saw that. I can't. I don't know if it's because it just feels safer to me, because even when I was younger and I was healthier, I still did. My feeders were still like 6, 7, 8 reps. I don't feel like I get acclimated to the exercise if I just do like 2 or 3 reps.
Yeah.
I got to do like.
That's the main difference, I think, is the way we get to the top weight.
Yeah.
Anyway, I do like tonight. My legs are coming back.
What do you mean?
Strength.
Oh, that's right, because you tore your quad a while back.
Yeah, I did 365 tonight for 10, like nice and slow, like
free bar.
No, just on Smith.
I can't free bar squat.
I did. I free barred 3. I did box squats with 315 a couple weeks ago, and that was okay.
Box squats I can do, but I noticed when I try and free squat now, I don't know if it's because my hips are tighter or what. My back's maybe not in the same kind of condition, but I notice I do a lot of leaning forward now. I never ever did. I used to be able to squat like Ben does, like sit right down.
Yeah,
now I notice I'm like leaning over. I'm like, oh, this is not a good squat. So I have to Smith squat too.
Yeah, I'm just trying. Leg extension is where I get worried, and I've been really increasing the weight with that and like testing it. But like, I feel fine. I don't know
why you guys go heavy. Not you guys. I don't know if you all do, but I never.
I don't go super heavy on leg extensions.
I don't ever go heavy on leg extension.
I don't even do leg extension.
I didn't for a couple. I didn't for a couple of years either.
I always love extensions. Always.
I think that's why my knees hurt so bad. Honestly,
because you don't do them or do them.
I used to do them all the time.
Yeah, there was a couple of years where I just wanted to put on as much muscles in my legs as possible, and I swear to, and I know everyone's going to hate me for saying this, but those 2 years I didn't fucking do any leg extensions.
I was going to take a picture, but I don't know if I should.
No, don't. Guy, have a safe trip tomorrow.
Thank you.
And fly safe. And either we'll podcast while you're there, or we'll see when you get back.
Yes. No, podcast when I'm there, please. I'm going to want something to do.
All right, let's go. Guy, have a safe trip.
I will try.
Okay. I love you guys.
Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And if you get a chance, check out the description for all the different links to all the different places you can find Hostile and myself. And lastly, check out hostile.com for our new line of supplements and all of our apparel and gear. Thanks again for watching.